Hey everybody, this is Rob.
I'm Ray.
I'm Rob. Tonight we are doing our before and after trailer reactions for Person to Person.
All right, Rob, so Person to Person, we've got an independent film with Michael Cera and Abbi Jacobson from Broad City. Any chances it'll be good?
It's possible. I find it interesting that Michael Cera is in a movie. He was really hot there for a little while after Arrested Development, but you know, a lot of those people have gone on and they're consistently working, and I feel like he has just dropped off. And he pops up every now and again, sometimes in like a self-referential comedic way, like in This Is the End, a lot of voice acting, like the Lego Batman movie. But this movie does seem, you know, it reads as an independent film, so, you know, it could be interesting that he is the biggest name in this movie.
We shouldn't be shocked. I mean, he doesn't have that leading man look, and I feel like his delivery is kind of like one note. He does it brilliantly. Sometimes when you've seen him act, you feel like he's kind of not playing very different characters.
Yeah, he's usually typecast as himself, and that's hard, you know, when you become the character. But, I mean, even some of the people in his universe have done that. I mean, Seth Rogen, I feel like, is a prime example of that. Jonah Hill was, but I think he's kind of moved out of that into some of his more serious roles. But Michael Cera, I still really have a soft spot in my heart for him. I mean, especially with Arrested Development, which is coming back in 2018. I will say the synopsis of this movie, man, it's dry. It's dry and generic. How many times can you watch a movie about, it's a think piece about a variety of New Yorkers and interpersonal relationships and unexpected problems that all arise during one day. It is the standard formula for independent filmmaking, especially through...
It's just on a stamp. You just put that down for this type of movie.
And those, I'm not saying that all of those movies are bad.
Right.
I mean, I was an independent filmmaker. I understand, like, you work within your limitations, but there's got to be another hook in this movie. I mean, I'm really hoping that there is. If it's just this and a lot of dry dialogue and, you know, those, you know, small interpersonal moments, I guess we'll see.
These movies have to be character driven. The characters have to pop. That's why I'm kind of excited to see Abbi Jacobson in this. I love her in Broad City. She's like, you know, really raunchy and funny, and you know, I wish Lana Glazer was in this. I feel like they're such a pair. They need to always be together. But it'll be interesting to see what kind of dynamic she brings to it, because she can be really funny. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, let's give it a shot. Let's see what it's like before we talk ourselves out of wanting to watch it at all.
Today we're working on a story that's either a suicide or a murder.
I didn't realize that we were going to be jumping into something so big, you know, right away.
It's big and it's not big, depending on how you see it. Terrible things happen.
I love Michael Cera being the cool guy.
Things happen all the time.
Hello?
I got the red vinyl of Bird Blows the Blues. Charlie Parker.
You got Bird Blows the Blues?
My customers don't buy that high-end stuff over here.
I understand the insatiable urge to procreate with your boyfriend, but I've never seen Scott think deeply about anything other than your body.
I detest the way you detest people.
I know, and I love you for that.
Those are the detectives on the case. Today is your lucky day. I happen to have a working relationship with these guys. Ronnie, this is Phil from New York News. So where are you guys headed?
Phil wants to know where we're headed.
If you're trying to get laid here, just admit it.
Yes, that's correct.
Hey, this is Oren. This is Benny.
Do you love her?
I can't tell you that. You seem like the kind of kid that would spread that information.
I can't believe I put naked pictures on the internet of the love of my life.
I explicitly told you the consequences. The photos are available to any freak who wants them.
I think I remember you saying that before, but you know I wasn't listening.
I'm not a big fan of confrontation.
There she is.
I'm not crying. My eyes are always moist. I'm too emotionally detached from life to cry.
Aren't you lesbian?
Melanie thinks I'm a lesbian. And she thinks that because I've only ever been with girls.
It's subjective reasoning there.
Sounds like they're after the wife.
She didn't look like a murderer to me. She's a decent woman.
Me, I've got music in my heart. It's a tender spot. It's vulnerable. Come over here nice and easy, and I'm only gonna break one of your legs. Keep running, and I'm gonna break them both.
Where's the deal where you don't break either of my legs?
Never heard of it.
You have to get tough, Claire. Go with your instinct.
My instinct is to quit this job, run away, and go home.
Okay, ignore your instinct.
It's good advice.
So that was exactly what I thought that movie was going to look like.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a lot of those movies feel like.
Yeah, it doesn't feel original because it's not. You know, it's made to look like that indie 80s ensemble cast movie, you know, like a knockoff Woody Allen or John Cassavetes, you know, like that type of art house filmmaking. And unfortunately, I feel in certain respects, it feels really forced.
I feel like the visual style that this movie was shot in, or made to look like it was shot in, I can't tell, is trying to express that. Like, this was shot with a handheld camera from that you used to have to hold on your shoulder from the 90s kind of thing, which that's not what they really did.
Yeah, this movie is made to look like it was shot on film, but the funny and ironic part of that is that independent filmmakers don't shoot on film anymore because it's too expensive. They can't afford it, and this movie is, you know, made this way to look cheap, but it isn't. Even if it is shot on film, it's not cheap.
I think it's an expensive camera with a filter to downgrade it, which makes no sense to me. Which I think they're just doing that, like you're saying, forced to feel more indie than maybe they are.
Right, absolutely. And I mean, there's a lot of movies that do that now. It's not like this is, you know,
but the timepieces in the 90s, like Landline is a timepiece in the 90s. This kind of has that feel like we're going for the 80s, 90s look, but it's modern day.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're working on, you know, IMAX and stuff like that.
To now look different, your characters have to pop. There's got to be something that is a little bit more unique than I think what we're getting here. Like Michael Cera to me feels like he's being Michael Cera, and even Abbi Jacobson kind of feels like she's in the same wheelhouse she plays Broad City, and maybe a little more tamed. I'm not really getting anything that's popping and feeling like, oh, I want to see this character for 2 hours.
Yeah. So some of the performances, like you said, look like what you would expect from the actors, and then there are other performances, a lot of the supporting roles that I feel like, man, are you trying to pretend like you're this untrained actor in this indie film in the 80s? Like, is that what you're going for? Like, I don't know. Like, again, that kind of goes to the force thing. But, you know, some of the lines were funny. There were funny moments, you know, and stuff that could be interesting. And then there were some cliche moments. The guy that's obsessed with vinyl. Don't get me wrong, I love vinyl. I collect vinyl too. But, like, it's still kind of like one of those staples in this type of movie. The party scene where it's like everybody's awkwardly dancing and it's like you got everybody close together because there's actually only like 7 people in the room, but you're trying to make it look packed. You know, very static shots of, you know, of one person, you know, one shots of, you know, monologues and stuff like that. And I'm not saying this movie's going to be bad. There's a lot of movies that could pull it off. This movie could easily pull it off. I'm just saying from the surface, these are the things that kind of like put those red flags in my mind. This movie just may be trying way too hard.
All right, Rob, let's rate person to person, see where we're at with it. We midnight it, we stream it, or we forget it. Where you at?
I did come off pretty down on it during.
You got your doubts.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I do think this could be a good movie. Those red flags of, you know, the trying too hard to look like a specific movie, you know, instead of just like trying to be your own movie. There were those funny moments in there. I like Michael Cera. I like Abbi Jacobson. Philip Baker Hall is in this movie, so I think that's pretty awesome as well. I'm gonna go ahead and say stream it.
I would love to see Michael Cera and Abbi Jacobson probably in like 80% of this movie, because those two I think look funny in this, but I have a feeling there's not going to be enough of them for me. I'm going to say forget it. I'm going to just be, if I do see it, I'm just going to be waiting for them to get back on screen. I think I just don't see enough there with the other characters. Unless you totally change my mind after you stream it, I'm forgetting it.
Well, we'll see. All right, everybody. That's it from us, but we want to know what you think about the person-to-person trailer. Are you excited to see Michael Cera in another movie? Do you think this movie is just trying way too hard? Let us know in the comments below.
Then hit the like and subscribe button so you can catch all of our upcoming videos.
Until then, this is Car Ray Rob.
I'm Ray.
And I'm Rob. If you want something bad, you have to fight for it. Step up your game, Scott. Break out the L word.
Lesbian?
The other L word.
Lesbians?